Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7. We are back with the new sport mode time trial to earn you 2 million credits. Now if you do enjoy these videos, if they help you out, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, it really does help me out, pushes the channel. And yeah, let me know in the comments if this lap has helped you out, if you've managed to get gold, silver or bronze. Do love reading them comments when, you know, we've helped you get a silver or a bronze or a gold, whatever it is. If we've helped you earn credits on the game, brilliant to know. So what is this time trial? If you do want to enter this time trial, it's very, very simple to do so. We are racing the NSX at Daytona. You simply go to the top right hand corner, sport mode, click on that, and you have the lap challenge menu there. You click on that, go into the section here, click on that, and you've got greeted with the times that you are required to get to the gold. At the moment, it's set at a 153.4. That'll probably go just below a 153, maybe a 152.7 to 8. I don't know yet. But yeah, I would probably get at least a 52.6 at least, I think, to be secure there. But yeah, these are dynamically changing, so they change as the time trial goes on. So 3% for gold, 5% for silver, 10% for bronze. It will get faster as the time goes on. You've got 2 weeks to do this lap. If you do want to load my ghost up, you can do so in the replay there. I got it into the top 10, so you can watch my lap. And also when you're in the session, you can load my ghost up. Just search for the key 25 or key 25, it will show up as, and you'll be able to load it up there to follow on your lap like I'm doing on my lap. I've loaded P1's lap up, it's Nico's lap, and I'm chasing that down on the lap that you're about to see. So let's go through the guide, try and help you out as much as we can, because this car again has some techniques that will help you out if you know about them. So into turn one, we're going to stay to the right hand side here because we don't want to take a narrow line. We want to be as straight as possible when we get into the braking phase, so we're slowing it down before we even start the lap here. And we are braking incredibly early. Look how early we are on the brakes here. Massively early, because we've got to be very careful with this car. Very uneasy, so keep an eye on the throttle inputs as we're braking. We're going to put a tiny bit of throttle input there just to help the car stay stable. Now try and get the car from a wide angle to cut back in here. You can use second gear to help rotate the car into this corner. I stay in third gear. You can obviously do it either way. I've done a couple of laps a second, some with third gear. This worked out quite well in third gear. On the power super early on the exit there, and try and get it to stay as close to in the limits as possible. It's very easy to run wide over the curbs, but completely flat out now using the curbs as you go through there. And now we're going into the next braking zone, which I use that lamppost. That lamppost on the left hand side is a brilliant reference. Just imagine a line going across the track from there, and you're on the brakes pretty much dead level with that lamppost. Now going into this right hand corner, you're going to see we're going to go down to third gear, get the braking done, and then use second gear to rotate the car. Watch the rotation that happens when you're in second gear, and then back up to third gear as you're getting into the apex. And on that throttle, you can see that throttle input going in really early, giving you good exit speed, and stay on that throttle all the way. Use a little bit of the curb on the left hand side for extra track width, and now into this fast left hand corner. Now normally you wouldn't be lifting for this. Now I give it a safety lift because I sense I'm going to understeer. So you can see, look at my throttle inputs, just dropping that throttle to about 60-50% as we go through the corner, just to make sure that we don't understeer wide, and then back on the throttle. It does lose me a tiny bit of time, but overall it's a safe way to do it. Now you're going to imagine a line going across the track from where the track splits off there. I use that as my reference for braking into this corner. You can see onto the brakes. And now we're going to slow the car down as much as straight line braking as you can with this car. You don't want to be turning while braking, because that is where this car becomes unsettled. Now you can see we're going to try and get it into a tight line through this corner. I always like taking a quite narrow line, using second gear to rotate it. A little bit too early using second gear there though. That caused the car to drift a bit. Lost at least a tenth, maybe more on that corner. So we early upshift to third gear yet again. Third gear is the best gear for accelerating out of a lot of these corners. And again, working our way into this next left hand corner. Now I use the reference where the track again divides off to the right here, not that part, this part here. There is where I use as the reference. Onto the brakes just before that, and we're going to go down to second gear, but back up to third gear for the acceleration phase yet again. So again, second gear, let the car rotate, again be smooth in your inputs, and then third gear, and then full throttle almost. You can see maximum throttle pretty much straight away up. It goes up to about 50, 60, 70 and up to 100 straight away. And then I always try and take kind of a narrow line through here and keep on the throttle. I find that a little bit better doing that way, and I think I actually gained on P1 a little bit on that corner because I think he ran a little bit wide. But yeah, if we would have made a few mistakes on this lap, we possibly would have been 2 tenths further up on it than what we are now. But now it's completely flat out on this bank section, working our way into the very fast chicane. Now this chicane is all about braking early. Again, this car, you need to brake very, very early. Not very good brakes in this car, so When we go past the 3 board, we're going to brake just before the 2 board. You can see on the brakes incredibly early, quite a bit before that 2 board. And now we're going to go down to 5th gear, then down to 4th gear, and you're going to try and take some of this curb off. Again, you can be quite aggressive on the track limits on the entry into this first chicane. That's the first part of the chicane. So over the curb, left-hand tyre almost on the grass. And again, on the second part, your right-hand tyre can go right over the yellow part. And what you're trying to do is line it up to get a straight line exit as possible, so you can get on that throttle and be aggressive. You can see I'm trying to be aggressive on the throttle now. Just be careful you don't run too far wide here, but the game will let you get away with more than it used to. It's actually a little bit better now. You can actually push the limits on that curb. I think I prefer it like that than being that super strict setting that was basically how no one drives it in real life. It's a lot better now. But the first part is a little bit too loose, I think, on the track limits. Now power your way all the way down to the finishing line, revving this car out, and we go over the line for a 1 minute 50.533. So not a bad lap. There's definitely 2 to 3 temps coming off that lap if we really wanted to. So turn 1, making sure you're braking incredibly early. I actually looked at my speed when I got into the braking phase. It was about 182, and that was starting your lap from a fresh lap. So if you're starting it from the second lap, you might be going a little bit faster. If you're using kilometers an hour, you'll have to work that one out on Google, whatever. But I use miles per hour because in the UK we use miles per hour. So yeah, following the lap again, you can see using the full width of the track, and this corner here, that little safety lift. You can see why the rear can step out quite easily on this corner. So a little safety lift there, and then getting that car straightened up before we get on them brakes. It's so important with this car to have the car straight. If you're even slightly turning and you brake with this car, you'll be drifting off into the grass. It's a very tricky car on the brakes. Now again, braking just before that track splits off there. Second gear, back up to 3rd gear, power the car. You can actually be quite aggressive with this car in this corner. It's got quite a lot of grip through there. We're on sports soft tyres, obviously. And don't worry about setups. Again, this is completely default setup this week. You don't need to worry about any setups for, tuning. It's just the default setup, sports soft tyres, and away you go. So again, coming into this very, very fast chicane, and again, this is all about maximising your exit speed. Concentrate on exit rather than an entry is what I always say for this chicane. So slow it down nice and early, get your line sorted, and then try and get on the throttle and be aggressive on the throttle, because this is where you gain your lap time. If you come out of this corner a couple of miles per hour faster, that will be emphasised by the time you get to the finishing line, and you end up with a much faster lap time. So yeah, hopefully this guide will help you out. Hopefully it'll help you improve. I believe the times will drop down to probably 52.6 to 7 to 8 for gold. So you really want to be safe on a 52.5 to 6. It might not get that low, but I would say it's better to be safe than sorry, especially with a road car like this where you get very fast road car users that keep pushing the time trial and keep going faster. So I would aim for a 52.5 personally for that gold, and work that out for the silver and bronze as well. But yeah, I'll see you again in 2 weeks for another one of these videos, and also for plenty of live streams during the week and other videos. Thanks again for watching, everyone.